There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at homedepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Wendy's new classic chicken sandwich is now in the 2 for $5, and that's reason to celebrate. Try the new classic and then take your mouth on a victory lap with the iconic Dave's Single, the delicious spicy chicken sandwich, spicy or crispy 10-piece nuggets, or just get another classic chicken sandwich. Taste greatness today with Wendy's 2 for $5. We got you.
For a limited time, a la carte only. Price and participation may vary. U.S. Wendy's.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Thank you for downloading Sporgy for free on iTunes or from ChristopherMedia.net. Please make sure to rate Sporgy 5 stars on iTunes and help to tell others about Sporgy by leaving a comment. Thank you for following Sporgy on Twitter at Sporgy Podcast and on Instagram at Sporgy_podcast. Please follow Sporgy on Facebook to like and share Sporgy. You can also email the show. The address is sporgy@ChristopherMedia.net. If you would like to donate to Sporgy, you can click on the PayPal button at ChristopherMedia.net. If you use Amazon.com, please click and bookmark the Amazon link at ChristopherMedia.net. It will not cost you any extra money, and you will help to support Sporgy. If you are looking to launch your own website, please click through the HostGator banner at ChristopherMedia.net. Christopher Media uses HostGator to host all of the shows produced by the Christopher Media Network. When you click through the HostGator banner at ChristopherMedia.net and sign up for HostGator, you're helping to support Sporgy. We know that choosing the perfect gift for a man is a difficult task, but not anymore. TheBroBasket.com is here to help. We all know men are hard to shop for, but what do guys actually like? Their favorite alcohol, that's what. It could be craft beer, wine, whiskey, scotch, or tequila. TheBroBasket.com will put it in a gift basket full of their favorite gear and goodies. You can customize your own Bro Basket or choose from a variety of different Bro Baskets, like the Ultimate Import Sampler, the Jack and Coke gift set, or the Junior Executive gift basket. Boozeless, but still cool, Bro Baskets are also available. TheBroBasket.com gives you many shipping options to choose from, including rush delivery and Saturdays. 21 and over, please. State and local laws apply. Beer, wine, and liquor are not available for shipping in all states. You can help to support Christopher Media by clicking through the BroBasket.com banner at ChristopherMedia.net. Men used to be hard to shop for. TheBroBasket.com.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. Welcome to Sporgy, the show that gives you half-ass sports fans giving their half-ass opinions. Now, here are your hosts, Chris and Rich.
Yeah, here's our hosts. We'll just we'll call it there. Number 26. What do we got? Who wore 26, gentlemen? I'm drawing a big fat blank.
Joey Kosher, Ray Shepard,
Le'Veon Bell.
I'm trying to think someone in baseball, but I can't right off the top of my head.
Martin St. Louis, Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm Chris.
J-Ski from NASCAR.
I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
I'm the Iceman.
All right.
I'll get out there one day. One day, Chris, we'll get that.
Yeah, well, I promise next week we'll have it fixed. May not be your name. It may just be generic, but it will be fixed. Stop just singling out Chris and Rich. But yeah, man, we're heading into week 14 already. So I can feel the depression creeping in. Oh, it's almost over. But if you're a Michigan State fan, it is over. We had the NCAA championship games this week. The top four came out, and we were talking before the show started how everyone's kind of on board with us and how the top four shouldn't be the top four. But is what it is. Like I texted you guys about this. I think the SEC championship game is a prime example of how stupid this current system is. Florida had no business being in that stadium with Alabama. They didn't have business being in the same state with Alabama in that game. But that's my opinion.
Well, absolutely. But Virginia Tech damn near beat Clemson.
I saw that.
By one touchdown. And we're talking about the third-ranked team in the whole college. And you make it that close, and I think Virginia Tech was what, 25th?
Yeah, they were just in the top 25.
That's just another reason why, man. The NCAA college football championship is it's all fucked up. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't seem to get it right. There's just too many teams. You can't go by record because you got to put strength of schedule in there. And, you can have all the Power 5 conference championship games you want. There's always going to be an odd one out, And then you have teams that win their championship game that aren't in the playoffs.
Yeah, I want to make that point, Rich, because I don't want people to think I'm a homer and thinking I want to expand it so Michigan or Michigan State one year can get in there. That's not what I'm saying. You have Penn State, who beat Ohio State but lost to Michigan. But Ohio State's in, and Michigan and Penn State aren't. How did that happen?
It like I said, man, it's a clusterfuck.
How about Western Michigan getting no love?
Absolutely.
So I checked, them and Alabama have the same record, but they're not.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not even anywhere near the conversation.
That's what I'm saying, because they go strength of schedule. I mean, college football is the one game or the one sport, I believe, that people get pissed when they get the score ran up on them, but you have a legitimate reason to run the score up on a team. Because the more dominating your wins, the more consideration you are, the more you're considered for the higher in the rankings. So, I mean, like you said, if you squeak out a win by a touchdown or less, they're going to look at that versus if you blew the team out by 4 or 5 touchdowns. So, like I said, the criteria is all over the place, and that's what makes. To me, that's how come, I hate to say this, but unless a team is in the playoffs or their bowl game, the season ends, to me, when Michigan and Ohio State play each other. Anything else is just gravy because it's just so fucked up.
I mean, I don't understand why they kind of have this head in the sand mentality that they're not the minor league for the NFL, because if you're not, who the fuck else would be? I mean, why don't you start structuring your playoffs kind of like, where they're going to be not most of these guys, where some of these guys are going to be heading. You want to, it could play into the whole act like you've been there before. Maybe if you got a little taste as to how the big boys work when you get there, when you're with the big boys, maybe the part of the mental game will be solved for you. Maybe you won't have guys like Matt Stafford going to New Orleans and just fucking getting just crushed.
Well, because in college basketball, they expanded it. Well, I don't think they expanded. I think they had it right from the beginning when they hit March Madness. Because my alma mater, Oakland University, got into the Sweet 16 one year. And then to the, not the Final Four, but the Hard Eight or whatever the fuck it is. But that's just it. You could take teams that nobody's heard of that have the talent and go on the field and play for a championship, that actually means something.
So, I mean, basically, what do you do then? Do you expand?
You got to expand it. You have to expand it.
Okay, well, if you're going with the top 25 teams, that's an odd number, so you can't do that right there unless you just want to contract it to 24 teams or expand it to 26 teams.
I mean, why don't you just make it some kind of tournament where the division leaders all play each other? That's it. I mean, sounds good on paper. I mean, so to communism, but
I think it should go to at least 8. I think you have your inner conferences and you play those games. You keep the rivalry games,
or even make it the top 2, and the people who finish first all get a first round bye, and the second place teams can all duke it out the first round, and then you go from there.
I mean, it's just kind of like the NFL, kind of. Sort of, through all the conferences. I think there's 5 power conferences, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in each conference, you play your season. You have your championship game for the top 2 teams, top 2 seeded teams, whoever they are. And then, you take the winner of all 5 of those. And then you have a couple of wild card teams that have the record. Like, for example, this year in the Big Ten, it would be, Ohio State and Penn State would be in, and then you have, 8 teams there that actually have a shot. You don't just keep having the same 4 frickin' teams. Alabama sitting on the fucking, coast of Gulf of Mexico waiting to see who they're going to play in the championship.
Yeah, but then you have the problem with like a team like Notre Dame, who's an independent. They can cry, well, we're not in a conference, so what gets us in the playoffs?
The best record of the independents. You have for quote unquote the independent conference. The person with the best record out of the independents, you get to go.
Yeah, there's 8 slots in five conferences, Rich. So Notre Dame, if they make the record, can still make it.
It just seems like this. It's so arbitrary how this is. It seems like it's a bunch of dudes in a fucking room with a dartboard. At least the last few years, there's no order to it. It seems like it's just the way the current system is now.
Well, like I said, they used to go by the AP and the coaches poll. Then they went to the BCS. That was a clusterfuck. Now they have the playoffs. And the playoffs doesn't. We're not the only ones complaining that 4 teams in the playoffs is not enough. And so I'm starting to wonder here if somewhere down the line, which to me, some people must have sat down and said, the cons far outweigh the pros of having these quote unquote student athletes playing more games, because it just means more money for the schools.
Well, not only that,
exposure, more money. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So there must be something that we're not hearing for a reason for this.
But you also said, something that was very peculiar. What is Condoleezza Rice doing on a board that's going to select who's in the playoffs and who ain't?
There you go.
No disrespect to former Secretary of State. You might have some, experience there and some things you could do there. It's debatable. But there's nothing to debate that about college football and the teams and where they should be ranked. How in the hell is she qualified to do such a thing?
Was she a coach? Was she...
Your guess is as good as mine.
But that's it. You have people that do that type of thing, and they have no idea what they're doing. They're just like, oh, I like Alabama. Roll Tide. Let's put them in there. Oh, Clemson. I like the Paw. I like Orange. Put them in there. Shut up. Get people that know what they're talking about, can understand why they're ranked where they're ranked. Okay? Expand it out a little bit. Make it fair for everybody to get a shot. Not just an eyeball test, quote unquote. Oh, they had a tougher schedule. Says who? You dumb motherfuckers had Michigan State ranked 8th. They won 2 games. How are they ranked 8th? Because of the eyeball test.
Year?
No, because of the eyeball test.
You want to start
because of last year, and that they're going to come back and be absolutely dominant this year.
Hey there, Block M fan. If you want to talk about bullshit preseason rankings, how many times has that Block M gotten Michigan a preseason ranking they had no business having?
Oh, definitely. The bigger your brand.
Block M. I'm just saying, with Michigan State this year, it shows the problem with the quote-unquote eyeball test. You're right, Chris. A lot of times,
There's a couple,
Block M,
during the Rich Rod
blue,
years, they were ranked in the top 10 preseason, and they were never a top 10 team ever during the Rich Rod years.
Absolutely. It's a big school name. It's a name that everybody knows. You got to put Michigan up there. They have to be in the top 25. It's frickin' Michigan. I totally agree with you. That is all about my point right there.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like
just to play devil's advocate, though, maybe they're thinking, well, if we throw these big brand college teams and big name college teams in there high up in the rankings, there'll be upsets. Even if they don't deserve the rankings, there'll be quote unquote upsets. There'll be upstart teams. It'll add to the drama of the rankings throughout the season. I don't know. I mean, I've had friends who are over the years who are obsessive college football fans, and I asked them to explain it to me, and they go, "We don't think anybody knows." Be honest with you.
I think it's a bunch of.
My point is that whole system, the entire thing, all the way from the rankings to how you're going to pick a national championship, needs to be revamped, because Alabama hasn't played some teams in this country that could possibly sit them down and say, okay, now sit there and suck your pacifier. They're never going to play those teams, not because they don't deserve it or they haven't earned it, but the eyeball test says that these 4 teams are supposed to be in there, and you're not. Western Michigan, Washington, Penn State, never play those teams. And my point is how do you get a fair shot if you don't play the people that have earned their shot?
For once on this show, This is one thing we are all in agreement with. The system blows. Everything they keep coming up with, hey, this will be better, keeps blowing. It's a bunch of white guys in houndstooth jackets drinking a bunch of scotch, just looking at the balance sheets for the donors. Like, who the fuck knows?
Yeah, that's the one thing we haven't brought up that I would say plays a very big part in this. That's money. That's just all there is to it. In the end, that's what's going to rule everything. I mean, there's money being changed behind the scenes that we're not privy to for whatever reason.
Yeah, go back to Chris's point. The Block M. Every game that they play at the Big House, Michigan runs out and touches a sign that says "Go Blue," and it's a support the Go Blue support club.
Yeah, the boosters. And on top of that, teams that come in, that agree to come in for the first couple weeks, who are traditionally cannon fodder for them. You know, we're going to play basically preseason teams.
Yeah.
The preseason games. We're gonna play our starters for half the game, and then we're gonna put in our backups for the other half. They get a monster payday for agreeing to go in there and get shit all over. Very rarely. And this isn't just Michigan. This is all big college football teams, especially if your team's known as a football factory. Very few teams have someone come in their first couple weeks, like Appalachian State did, and upset the favorite. That just does not happen. I mean, it happens maybe once, twice a season at most. But how many college football teams are there? I mean, think about it. Exactly. Over 100. I mean, think about March Madness, and that's not even all of the college basketball teams. And there's more colleges with football teams than basketball teams. Think about that. Because you still have the NIT if you don't even make the tournament.
Stepping away from the college playoffs for a minute, but staying in college, can we all agree that there's going to be a replacement in Notre Dame next season?
Well, Brian Kelly says he's not going anywhere. Didn't he say
that's what
didn't he say that last week?
But that ain't what they said. I don't think they have said. They should.
If they can get someone like Les Miles in there, they'd be a fool to hang on to Brian Kelly.
Well, the rumors of him going to Purdue are gone because they hired Kentucky's coach.
Yeah, and didn't Oregon just fire their coach? And Oregon is
well, supposedly a homeboy from Western Michigan is going to be getting that one.
Right. Well, I had high hopes that Les Miles would go to Michigan State, but whether Mark D stays or not, I am almost assured Kelly's gone. With the season he had, combined with the fact of the penalties and everything that broke that at Notre Dame, no way do they keep him. How do you keep that?
No, I don't think anyone wants to coach at Notre Dame next season.
Yeah, but then again, look at Penn State, Big Ten champions.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that 4 years ago when they had all those sanctions handed down to them? Nobody. I remember people saying this is going to cripple Penn State for the next decade.
Well, half a decade.
Well, I mean, those came down in the summer of 2013? So 13, 14, 15, 16 in 4 seasons. And you can argue that only for 3 seasons were they out of the running. And their 4th season, they're a Big Ten champion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hell of a comeback. It's a hell of a
comeback. And still can't play in the playoffs.
Exactly. Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't. This is how come when people go, I don't like college football, and I'll ask them why. And if they give me that as a reason, I don't even argue with them. Or I don't even try to just talk to them and change their mind. I'm like, you're right, it's a completely fucked up system. I can't defend it. I mean, I can't. But that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that during the regular season, I mean, I wasn't even all that excited when the Big Ten implemented a championship game. I'm like, really? I'd rather just have every team in the Big Ten play each other. And granted, it's not 10 teams anymore, but I'd rather have that and get rid of out-of-conference games. Unless it's something like Notre Dame and Michigan, or a rivalry game that goes back a long way. But then Notre Dame pulled out of that, okay, Notre Dame, you want to play fast and loose? You want to be the lone gunman? You want to be Clint Eastwood? Okay, well, guess what? Since you're not going to join a conference, and since you don't want to play ball, you can go play all these shit teams that we no longer play the first couple of weeks of the season.
Wow, that got digital in a hurry.
So I don't know. It's a clusterfuck, but in the end, whoever's named national champion ain't going to care about any of this.
Exactly.
They're going to lift.
All I got was you in the digital age there, Rich.
Oh, did he sound like a Transformer?
Yeah.
Well, he sounded good on this end. His point was made to the audience and to me.
That's all that matters.
Yes.
I don't want to stay too long on that college. It just, obviously it needs to be changed. But, Rich, I need to ask you a question. Have you seen Sidney Crosby's goal?
Which one?
Okay. That tells me you haven't seen it. The one where he banked it off the goalie's back?
No. I heard about it. I meant to go look up the highlight, but I got lost looking at other highlights.
Everybody is talking about Sidney Crosby shooting off the back of a goalie like it was the best thing ever, like the best goal ever scored. It wasn't. He shot it. It rebounded back to him. The goalie didn't know where it was. He hit the goalie in the back. It trickled backwards into the freaking net.
Well, dude, it's a given, okay? He is the NHL and Bettman's golden boy for the time being. That's who they wanted, and they have installed as the face of the NFL or NHL. They've got what they wanted.
But as I described it to you, does it seem like that big of a goal?
I don't know. I'd have to see it.
Check your messenger. Just sent it to y'all.
I've seen it like 1,000 times. Everybody's talking about it. It wasn't that big of a goal. I've seen people shoot between their legs. I've seen people turn around and shoot between their legs. I watched a guy put a puck on a stick, go behind the net, get the puck still on a stick, and then throw it in the corner while behind the net.
Yeah, I've seen that too. That was what I was thinking it was going to be like. He just batted it out of air and it went up.
He just banked it off the guy's back. That wasn't that impressive.
Well, he pretty much batted it out of the air. That's some hand-eye coordination. Okay, great, wonderful, but no, it is what it is, man. Ovechkin can do 5 times what Crosby could do, and your casual hockey fan is not going to give a shit. But Crosby does something half as good as Ovechkin, and people just go nuts. I mean, it's the way it is. Jordan earned the right to be the face of the NBA. Okay, bottom line. Gretzky back in the day earned the right to be the face of the NHL. All right.
Yeah, Crosby's in this kind of same class as LeBron, where he's just kind of had it handed to him without anything, just thrown on him instead of earned. Just here you go, you're the greatest.
Yeah, the hype coming off of him before he entered the league was just ridiculous. I had guys who I know who follow, every minor league, overseas. They are deeper into hockey than I could ever be. Like, I'm just like, how did you ever lose your virginity being this much into hockey is what I wanted to know. But, besides the point, and they were like, oh, he's going to come in and shatter all of Gretzky's records. And I'm like, no, he's not. The game is not set up that way. You're out of your mind. You're believing the hype train. The hype train is literally driving up your asshole right now as we speak. And you're just sitting there like, thank you, Daddy. Give me another couple fucking inches. Come on. I mean, the days of Gretzky and that type of scoring and the scoring that Stevie Iceman did and Fedorov did back in the days, those are gone, man. Those are gone. I mean, the game's changed. So for them to try to hype it up, they're like, but no one has 3,000 points except for Wayne Gretzky.
But more impressive about those players that you're naming, Wayne Gretzky, Iceman, Fedorov, is the era that they did it in.
Yeah, where supposedly there was all this dirty play and clutching and grabbing, but it's amazing that scoring was up back in the day when you still had when the NHL let players police themselves, and it didn't turn into a fucking soccer game out there with people diving all over the place. I mean, seriously, Greg fucking Louganis has given like 9.5s to Gretzky for his dives. Okay? So it's just ridiculous. But that's the game they want. They're trying to. One of the very first 4Gs, I said this. Canada invented this game. It came to the northern United States, and then the U.S. got its fucking money and its fingers deep in it, and it's corrupted the fucking game. To where sooner rather than later, it's going to be basketball on ice with the diving you see in soccer. And There's nothing that can be done about it as far as I can see. And I mean, for the goals that are being scored nowadays, it was an impressive goal. I'll give him that. But I mean, it's not like he deked the guy out of his fucking shorts. It's not like he
was.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that was the whole reason and I'll admit this, I was completely wrong about implementing the shootout in regular season overtime. I was like, that's not how the game's played. You're turning it into the Olympic style, once more sucking that European style of hockey's dick. Blah, blah, blah. I was completely wrong about that because these younger guys, if you notice, when they first started that, it was the older guys that were sitting and taking the 5th, 6th, 7th shots if it went that far deep into an overtime shootout because it was the younger guys who they work on their breakaways. They work on a one-on-one with the goalie. And they were just doing incredible dekes and shit that I had never seen before. And I was like, holy shit. You know what? I was wrong. So, they haven't gotten everything wrong. I don't want to come down on them, but I don't know, dude.
I think the NHL has become a victim of the other major sports, basketball and football, baseball to an extent. The evolution of sports, period, has to be protect the player, make it entertaining, but make sure nobody gets hurt.
Well, here's the thing. You look at sports like MMA and like not boxing so much because boxing, those guys take fucking massive hits to the head constantly through their entire career. But just look at martial arts. Where's all the talk about CTE in martial arts? It's not there. Okay, they're trying to because they don't want fighting in the game. Period. They're trying to pin a correlation between CTE and fighting in the game. Now, here's the problem. I think anybody with half a brain will tell you you're more at risk of getting a concussion by having a guy coming full speed on skates at you, 6'5", 240 pounds, drilling you into the boards than you are taking swings at each other. And remember...
That's the first thing I thought when it's fighting. I was like, so your face being smashed into the boards, no effect on it at all?
Exactly.
Getting hip checked and landing on your head on the middle of the ice? Nah.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's fighting. Okay.
Bettman came out earlier this year and said there's no link between the physical side, the legal physical side of hockey and CTE, and then made a comment that it probably has more to do with the fighting. And it's like, really?
The reason I mentioned the hip check is I watched a player get hip checked, laying head first on the ice, get up, waddle to the opposing bench and jump in.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yo, Rich.
Sure, good hit.
This one's for you. Damn it. Oh, here we go.
Wrong. Wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah. Fucking. Really, Bettman? Come on. Like, I just even with football, too. How are we expected to believe that rattling your brain around inside of your skull repeatedly for, decades is not going to affect you?
The thing is that there's a risk-reward balance that players have to understand when they go into this. Okay, it's that you have to accept it. It's part of the game, and if you're not willing to accept it, then what you do is you don't play the game, or you get in, you play. And the minute you start going, oh, wait a minute, I'm feeling a little bit groggy here, you retire. You retire before you get that fucked up. Okay, no one's holding a gun to these guys' heads saying you got to play this.
Yeah, it's a choice.
I mean, it's. I have a couple of analogies, but I don't want to use them because it's venturing off into vaguely political, some of it vaguely political. But I mean, let's just say you're not being drafted into the NFL and you have to go. Let's just put it that way. You can play college football and be the number 1 draft pick and go, I'm not playing, and walk away. And you're not threatened with imprisonment or desertion. They're just like, you're walking away from all this money? Yeah, it's not worth the risk to my health. See you later. Have a nice one. Who just got hurt last week? Was it Thomas, the safety on Seahawks? And he's like, after this injury, getting carted off on a cart. I'm considering retirement. Retirement's in the back of my head. You know what? People call him a pussy, but you know what I say? Good for him. He just came off injury too. He just missed
He missed his first game ever. It was 2 weeks ago. First time Legion of Boom wasn't all the way out there. Comes back, boom, injured again.
If you get 2 NFL contracts, your rookie contract and then your next contract, and you're not a fucking idiot, you can live off that money the rest of your life. And if you're really smart in investing, not just average at investing, not just listening to your financial advisor, but you're above and beyond the average person in investing, you can live off that, and your children can live off that for the rest of their lives. All right? There's a whole lot of reasons not to keep putting yourself through this if you don't want to. But that's not the agenda. You know the agenda. The agenda is we got to make everything safer, and we don't want our kids playing football because there's a chance they could get hurt or this and that. Okay, and these same parents who are worried about their kids getting hurt, if their kid signs up for the fucking Marine Corps and they get they end up in 0311, a rifleman, they're like hanging up on the Walmart wall of heroes. Really? They got a better shot of fucking dying over there than they do playing football.
Yeah, I'd rather my kid go to the NFL than to Baghdad.
Pat Tillman.
I mean, so we all know there's an agenda to be pushed. Everybody has an agenda. This is the world we live in now. Everything's been politicized. Everything's is the cause du jour of somebody. Nothing can just be, hey, look, this is a risk that comes with this job. Being an NFL player, okay, isn't even as dangerous as working third shift at a 7-Eleven. Or being a pizza delivery guy. Yet I don't hear people worried about those people talking about what are we going to do about them. Those are in the top 5 of the most dangerous jobs in the U.S. that I just named. NFL players nowhere near it. Not even being a cop is as dangerous as those 2 jobs. Or a fireman.
Well, maybe now, but that's a whole different show.
Well, where's all the outcry for these third shift workers at 7-Eleven and pizza delivery guys? There is none, because it doesn't fit someone's fucking agenda and their narrative. So it is what it is.
Rich, you took one question and went way out.
Hey, man, so we do.
Right, I'm just saying, the goal wasn't that big a deal.
But what I'm getting, the whole point that kicked off the conversation about health and safety and concerns for players is the fact that no matter what Bettman wants to say, no matter what NHL detractors want to say, scoring was up in the 80s, and so was the style of play was a lot more physical, and there was a lot more clutching and grabbing, the so-called interference rules that he implemented. So what's their excuse for not having scoring go through the roof now? You're telling me that these players...
Talent.
that these players they don't have at their fingertips the most state-of-the-art training? Back then, case in point, read like Bobby Orr's biography. Those guys would go drinking after games every fucking night. Their training was eat steak and drink beer at bars.
Hell yeah!
I mean, that was literally, and then go to practice hungover. Bob Probert's own book, he talks about how many times he went in to practice and he could barely see straight from the night before, or he was still drunk. Same thing with McCarty. I mean, that wasn't that long ago. That was 20, 30 years ago.
I met Aaron Ward at a bar.
Exactly. That shit doesn't fly these days. You don't get to pull that shit and still be...
Ask Johnny Football.
Yeah, and have a blind eye turned towards that type of stuff if you're a professional athlete. On top of that, you got the state-of-the-art training. So what is their excuse? Why is scoring down? I'll just leave that for people who want to look at the facts to answer it themselves. That was the whole reason we went off on that. So,
well, I'll tell you someplace scoring isn't down, and that's the NBA. Holy hell.
Yeah, I had a guy drop 57 on me last week on my fantasy team. I owned him, which is nice, but a lot of high scoring going on. Russel Westbrook saying, well, I guess KD's gone. Guess I got to do all the work now.
Yeah, he doesn't miss KD at all, does he?
No, he's getting all the glory.
Well, he's earning all the glory, too. He's got 6 triple-doubles in a row.
That is correct.
It's hard to get 6 triple-doubles. It's hard to get a triple-double.
Karl Anthony Towns. This is a guy I had go off for me last week, just in case people want to nitpick.
Messed around, scored a triple-double.
Yeah.
As the warrior poet Ice Cube once said, if the day does not require an AK, it is good.
Yes.
You got Klay Thompson dropping 60 points in 3 quarters.
And then got benched. So who knows what he could have done? Yeah,
well, think about it, though. The reason was the fourth quarter didn't matter. They were up so much, it'd have been silly. And if he would have got hurt, everybody had been like, why was he even in there? It took me back to the movie Friday Night Lights. You guys ever seen that movie?
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'm admitting this on the air. I have not.
Oh, wow. The running back, Boobie Miles, is like the all-star of the Texas football team. And he's just so cool and everything. And it was like 55-7. And they had benched their running back and put the backup in. And the backup didn't know where his helmet was because he doesn't really play often. So Boobie's like, just sit down, man. You're a mess. And he goes in and he gets hurt, like a torn ACL, and he's done.
Yeah, that was it.
And everybody's like, why was he even in there? Stupid coach. He wasn't supposed to be. Fucking backup didn't know where his helmet was. Same thing. Klay Thompson goes back in. He's got 60 points. They're up by they almost doubled the score of the other team. For what? The coach isn't a fan. He's the coach for a reason. It was a great move.
I'm bitching about it. I was just saying. Who knows what he could have done?
Well, absolutely. But again, then that's me and you talking as a fan. But as a coach, hell of a move.
Yeah, if it's in the bag, why risk it? It's NBA, and it's only December. You got a long ways to go.
And staying at that exact same point, Green. Anybody seen what happened to him?
Who Green?
Draymond Green.
Oh, no. Educate me, Iceman.
Apparently, he's the new Bill Laimbeer, Dennis Rodman. He's Ndamukong Suh of the NBA. He's getting personal flagrant fouls left and right.
Well, he kind of did something to deserve that rep in the finals last year.
Well, it continues. He kicked James Harden in the face.
Jesus.
Well, in all fairness, he was shooting. He was going up to shoot, and Harden was really close and looked like Harden got a little physical. And when Green came down, his foot was in Harden's face. Now, people say, you're going up, you can't control everything, but it literally reminded me of Ndamukong Suh stomping on the Green Bay lineman for holding his foot. It's like, get out of my way type of thing. And I know you guys can look it up. I don't think it was a flagrant foul. I also don't think he stopped it from being in his face, but I don't think he purposely kicked him in the head. I just think, he's playing and,
Let's see. Draymond Green face kick. Let's see what Google gives me there. Draymond Green kicks Andre Robinson. That's from May. 4 days ago. Here we go. James Harden.
Tonight, down by 3. Second overtime clock at 2:15. Durant, 3, no. Anderson couldn't get it from Green. Livingston grabs the ball, and a whistle and a foul.
See a replay.
And Harden is down. And a discussion.
Kick that beard off of his face.
I just don't think it was a flagrant foul. I really don't.
Flopping and hitting.
Can I get a replay here?
Draymond Green says that he's been targeted, and I kind of agree with him.
And that was a double team.
But he is a hell of a player. He can shoot, he can defend, he can block, he can do so many things. But when it comes to his defense under the rim, it reminds me a lot of Dennis Rodman, down there throwing elbows and shit.
Oh, this is a play on for me.
And, he's aggressive.
Ooh, watching how he brought his foot down, though. He looks like he kind of moved it.
Now watch the follow through.
Well,
like I grant, he didn't, like when he put his leg up, it wasn't like, hey, I'm going to kick you in the face. But it looks like he saw where it was and kind of dragged it across his face.
At the same time, like I said, I don't think it was flagrant. But I think, Green thought, well, hell, if you're going to do this, then here, have that.
That, to me, that was kind of like grinding the guy's face into the turf. Is it that kind of, like, you're already down there, let's add some insult to injury. Like,
did you ever see the kick from Ndamukong Suh to the Green Bay lineman?
Yeah.
It's a lot like that. His foot's already on his chest. The lineman won't let it go. Fucking stomped on him. Okay. And that's a dirty player? That's not a dirty player. Let go of his foot. Draymond Green's up. His foot's in the air. Harden comes up. Okay. You're going to get out. If you're not getting out of the way, here, have a foot.
I'm not saying his initial intention was to kick the guy in the face, but it's like, hey, my foot was already up here. Hey, look, your face. My initial impression is it looked like he kind of dragged it across his face on the way down. But I don't think he kicked him in the face. Just looked like he drug his fucking shoe across his face.
But the question is
doesn't Draymond Green have a habit of kicking people?
Yeah, he's in the nuts, in the face.
Yeah, I mean, homeboy's got a problem with his feet. He wants to kick that bad. Get his ass in the octagon.
Yeah, MLS.
There you go.
Is it a flagrant foul or not?
It depends on your definition of flagrant.
Did he purposely kick James Harden in the face?
Purposely kick? No. Drag foot across face? Yes. I guess now we're sounding like Bill Clinton here. Now we gotta define what a kick is.
What's the definition of?
Yeah. What's the definition of a kick?
I did not have physical play with that man. Stop it. I will concede to it wasn't avoided. I'll tell you it wasn't avoided, but it damn sure wasn't flagrant.
Well,
did his leg go up with intent to kick? No. Did his leg come down with intent to do something? Yes. So it's kind of half and half.
Yes. It's very much a case of if I don't move my leg, it's going to hit this guy in the face. I'm not going to move my leg.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know, man. Didn't we just talk about the pussification of sports?
I know, right?
Okay. All right.
If Homeboy had that much of a problem with it, he probably should have got up and done something about it.
James Harden gets a lot of money.
He was too busy holding his face.
James Harden gets a lot of money to deal with getting kicked in the face. We could always play that card, too. Hey, man.
James Harden gets a lot of money for about that. That's about all he gets is kicked in the face because that man can't play the ball.
Well, I'm sure there's people out there who disagree with you.
Okay, but his record doesn't.
True. He's on a shit team.
And once again, LeBron James doesn't want to talk about the posse comment. Oh, that guy pisses me off.
So he doesn't want to talk about the 1990s movie, the Black Cowboy movie from the 1990s that had Stephen Baldwin as the token crazy white guy?
People.
Just saying. That got brought up the other day on SportsCenter, and I was like, on SportsCenter Radio, and I was like, that's a good point. So that movie's title is a racial slur or something? Okay, all right.
In Trump's America, it is.
Apparently.
Well, it's still Barry's America for a month and a half.
But yeah, I
think people are reaching for stupid shit these days in all types of sports.
People are reaching in general. It's another podcast, but yeah.
I mean, look, we don't cover soccer overseas because, one, I don't think any of us watch it, and two, I don't know anything about it enough to speak with even just off the cuff about it. But I mean, there's incidences of fans in the stands throwing bananas at black soccer players. Okay?
Racist.
That's pretty blatant. And
a little bit.
if that happened over here, all hell would break loose.
Not true. Because it has happened over here. Not bananas, batteries, beer, Coke.
No, but there's no racial implications with batteries, man. With bananas, that's motherfuckers calling black people monkeys. I mean,
but on top of that,
no. The Atlanta Braves pitcher.
Baseball's a little bit hard to climb up in the fucking stands, dude. Let's be honest here.
No, but there was some black people throwing batteries at a white pitcher who was racist. I can't remember his name. He was from Atlanta.
John Rocker.
Yes, Rocker. That's it.
Shit. Kenny Powers Light? Yeah. John Rocker. Jesus Christ. That fucking idiot.
I want to rock.
Couldn't let that get away.
Shut up and sit down, stupid. Take your bullshit, faggy ass fucking entrance music with you. Dumbass. Oh, Christ. Thank you. I'd forgotten about that idiot. Now I'm going to watch Eastbound and Down just to remember that moron.
I'm just saying, it's happened here.
Whatever, dude. The point is that nonsense. It's nonsense. It's just bullshit, dude. People just want fucking something to bitch about. And context is lost. Nuance is lost. Okay? And you got idiots on both sides who get way too upset, way too easy about everything. You get the people who get upset because, someone used the term posse. And then you get the idiots who are upset at the idiots about, he's upset because of the word posse. You're both fucking morons. Sit down, shut the fuck up, and let the adults talk for a second. Grow the fuck up. Whole fucking country, we need to do some drive-by parenting. And I'm talking about a motherfuckers in their 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
A bunch of oversensitive. Swear to God, I've blown a nut and my dick tip ain't been as sensitive as half these bitches these days. So anyways, what else we got going on?
Should we could talk about something that the national media is actually talking about. Not used to that here. But are the Detroit Lions for real, guys?
Their story is still being written, bro. It's like I was trying to say last week when I picked them, and like I said in our chat, I am a homer, no doubt about it. I'll pick them every year, love them. But right now they're doing very well. You ask me who they beat. They've beat people with winning records. Okay, they've done things. They held Drew Brees without a touchdown, first time in 60 freaking games. Okay, they're standing up to be counted, and people are now counting them. But it's still being written. Yeah, so they could possibly go to the playoffs. Woohoo! Are they going to win? Don't know. I'll pick them to win. I have faith that they've come together as a team, and they're going to march down the field, and they're going to take what's theirs. Somebody's got to stop them. It could happen. Any given Sunday, you're going to win or lose. But to me, they are real. They're on a winning streak. They're playing as a team. They believe in each other. And it's not just, is Matt Stafford an elite quarterback? Their defense is going what the fucking's all over this place. So, yeah, to me, they're real.
Where is the defense we saw on Sunday been all year? Where's that been? Is it just they realized they had to get up for this game? And because, I mean, if you want to really argue what's been, Matthew Stafford's pretty much, well, we'll argue over whether or not he is elite or not. Matthew Stafford this season has pretty much put the team on his back and, said, I got this. So it's been offense. Where's that? Can we get that defense all 16 games that we saw on Sunday?
The defense has been there. The defense has struggled with a couple of injuries here and there, but it's still been there. Darius Slay has become a killer corner. Made some huge interceptions at key times. He's a very big reason we won against Philadelphia when they were winning with Carson Wentz.
You got to throw those qualifiers in there, don't you, Earl?
You're asking, I'm going to tell you.
When they were winning.
Now, you can deny it all you like, but truth is truth. It happened.
If you look at right now, man, they have only the best record they have beaten and played is 6-5-1. Everyone else is 500 or lower. Like, now, right now, because it's...
Now, but not then, not when they played them.
Yeah, but now is when it counts. Now is you have become who you're pretty much going to be this season.
That record is part of the Lions, bro. It's because of the Lions that their record is that now. Otherwise, it would be the other way around.
They played the Lions all 12 games.
You'd be talking about an 8-4 freaking Philadelphia team, but you're not. Because they lost to the Lions amongst other people.
New York Giants, Dallas Cowboys. You beat those teams. You impressed me this year. But still,
got to. Dallas Cowboys, 100%. If you beat them, holy hell!
I mean, those are the best. That's the best you got coming down the stretch. All right, what do we have left? We have Chicago and Green Bay. Now, Green Bay fucking scares me. All right, I was looking at the numbers. I was looking at both of their next 4 weeks. As a Lions fan, I just see the last game of the goddamn season coming down to the division. All right. Packers are 2-0 since Rodgers went off on them. They're pissed. They're showing signs of life. And their road the next month is way easier than the Lions. The Packers have the Seahawks and then the division. That's it.
And the Packers, Rodgers he's feeling his nuts again. I mean, he came out in a post-game press conference this week and said, hey, I think we can run the table the rest of the season. I mean, here's the thing. He's got the hardware to back it up.
Yep.
This isn't some, rookie coming in going, we're going to win the Super Bowl this year. This is a guy who's actually been there, done that, and he knows what it takes to win. And if he's feeling that confident, then at that point, and he's on his game and he's feeling that confident, it's up to the other team to beat him at that point. He's not going to beat himself. So that's all I'm saying. Now, I will say this. I think the national media, something I heard that was very interesting on ESPN radio, is they said, okay, who's for real and who's not? And almost to a caller, people were calling in and saying, Raiders are for real, the Lions aren't. And as much as Stafford on this show gets, comeback kid love, they were talking about Derek Carr as if he's the comeback kid of 2016. That he's the one that leads his team to comebacks to victory. Like Stafford hasn't even done it. Now,
he has. He's done it more. That's why he's getting more love.
Here's the thing. Will that play into the disrespect? Will that be able to be turned into a disrespect card that can be played in that locker room for the Lions and get a chip on their shoulder? Maybe that's what happened with the defense last week. I mean, they were like, you know what? We're tired of hearing about fucking, are we for real? Let's go out and let's shut these fuckers up.
Yeah, because I was impressed with the defense because the way Breeze has been playing for the last month, dude, I thought it was going to be raining touchdowns, and it was not. I mean, I'll give him the credit,
Not one.
Yeah, I mean, I think, are the Lions for real? I can't answer that question until, A, they make the playoffs, and B, they win a playoff game. That's just all there is to it. And this isn't just because...
You're saying, are they good enough, Rich? And that's my question. And that's the thing that I'm talking about. That's the story that's still being written. Are they good enough? Do they have the talent, the will to drive and win? But are they for real? Yes, they're for real. They've proven they're for real. They're 8-4.
They're very.
You could say it was an easy schedule. They haven't played nobody, whatever. But it was an easy schedule. They haven't played anybody for many years, and we're terrible record. We're nowhere near the top.
I'll say this. They're very lucky to be in the NFC and in the division they're in, because if you look at the AFC's stacked compared to the NFC.
Yeah.
You have teams with their same record who are in the hunt for the wild card. They're not even at the top of their division.
Yeah, thank God you're not in the NFC East either this year.
I'm saying the same thing about my Bucks. Yeah, they're tied for first, but I'm thinking anybody that comes out of the NFC South is just basically a practice game for the rest of the playoffs for whoever they play.
Yeah, I think with the Giants and the Cowboys, you have two playoff teams coming in. That's going to be the barometer for me, is how you do against the Giants and the Cowboys.
I mean, it's like when we have this debate about Stafford and is he elite. Okay, I said it in the group text. I said, look, he's having a top 5 quarterback season without a doubt. But a couple top 5 quarterback seasons does not make you an elite player. That's not the standards that I judge an elite player by. All right. That's why I said, are they for real? Are they for real where? Are they for real in the regular season? Okay, well, we've already seen this. They've made the playoffs twice recently. Do something when you get there. I mean, that cannot be their goal. We want to make the playoffs this year. Okay, then what? You want to win a playoff game?
Goal should be that goddamn trophy that you win in February. That should be the goal.
Exactly. What is it Billy Beane's famous for supposedly having said in Moneyball? The only game I want to win is the last game of the year. Win the last game of the year. I mean, I'm not expecting them to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, I understand that it's kind of a bit on here. Oh, it's 2016, anything can happen. But yeah, look.
I mean, in the NFC, the road to the Super Bowl is going through the Cowboys. I mean, we can pretty much say that without a doubt at this point.
Unless there is a massive choke job, yes.
They've already clinched. They could lose and still make the playoffs. They've already clinched the playoffs.
No, I'm talking about their first game.
Oh, yeah.
They play in the playoffs. Unless they just go in there and Zeke and Dak are like, stage is too big, we can't handle this, and just choke.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of the team follows suit. But, I mean, I wouldn't bet that's going to happen. So, yeah, through the NFC, you're going to have to go through Dallas at some point, Hey, I'll say this. If they beat the Giants and Dallas, and I don't care if Dallas isn't playing all of its starters because it's the last game of the season and they're resting them. Beat them on the road, okay? Beat those two teams on the road. Then I can say, yeah, this season they were for real. Now let's see if they're for real in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, to answer the question, yeah, I think they're for real in the season if they do that, because the season's not over with. How many times have we sat and had this conversation about the Lions in our lifetimes? Does no one remembers the 7-1 Lions?
Yeah.
And then the rest of the season?
Ask Steve.
They could technically still go 8-8. So, but I mean, it's nice. We're in December. We're 2 games up. It's a position we're not in frequently.
Look, there's a lot to talk about. So, again, my position is, and it won't change until they change. Okay? Matt Stafford, to me, is an elite quarterback. He's been doing this for a while now. He's had the stats, he has had the numbers, but he's never gotten the credit. It's always been, ooh, look at the defensive line. The defense is stacked. That's how come. Ooh, he's got Megatron. Ooh, he's got this and that. Okay, all of that's gone. Chris is asking where the defense is. It's there, but there's no huge star names on it.
Will it be there?
Nada, maybe.
Consistently is my question.
So my stance is he's doing this without any big names. Huge superstar names.
So the self-admitted homer who, if you were around before the season, would have picked the Lions to go 16-0, says Matt Stafford's elite. Okay, dude. I don't. Okay, what do you? We would expect nothing less from you, dude.
But
all right, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not even talking about Matt Stafford being elite. We're talking about are the Lions as a team for real. My thing is, how can you judge whether a team's for real on their entire season when they haven't played the entire season?
That's why I said this season is their story is still being written.
Exactly.
As far as I can see, they have got their shit together. They are playing as a team, and for me, they are for real. But time will tell their tale. Are they going to say, okay, I've had enough, I can't play all 4 quarters? Are they going to continue to rope-a-dope teams? Whatever they're going to do. We'll see at the end of the season if they're for real. To me, they're for real. They're playing as a team. They're playing through all 4 quarters until the final whistle blows.
But
you don't get more real than that.
Just keep an eye on the pack, man. Just keep an eye on the pack. If you're the Lions, you have to, every game is a must-win at this point.
The pack's packed full of superstars. And when they get butt sore, you saw what happened. They fell like a rock to the bottom of the division. When everybody's happy, oh, we can win, and we'll go and we'll win out the season. Woo-hoo. Nobody comes to this house without paying a price. You load a team up with superstars you're playing with fire, just like the Lions are with going in the 4th quarter losing. Because if they get upset and they don't gel right, you ain't winning a damn thing. And I don't care who you're playing at that. You play Cleveland.
Oh, my hope with the Giants, speaking of Cleveland, is they struggled against Cleveland. So, you know, the Giants, if you ask me, between the Giants and the Cowboys, who we got a better chance to beat, I'll tell you the Giants. But
oh yeah, definitely.
Time will tell. I mean, it's been a competitive year in the NFL, unless you're Cleveland. It's been a pretty competitive year in the NFL. I got to give it that.
Look, just wear a tie. Everything's okay.
Do you think the fire's out in Indianapolis? Do you think they've pulled out of the tailspin? Or
no, they played the Jets, bro. Calm down. No.
Yeah, but all of a sudden they're 6-6.
Don't turn me into Mega Trainer on live broadcast. No.
It's just a question, man. All of a sudden, the shitty Colts are 6-6.
Yeah, we're gonna know who's in first place after next Sunday. That's for sure.
But they played Tennessee and then followed that by playing the Jets, bro. No.
I mean, because look, they play the Texans next week, then they got the Vikings, they're at the Vikings, then they're at Oakland, and they got the Jaguars. So there's right there, on paper, the eyeball test for what it's worth. Come on, dude. Yeah, that's 2 wins at least, and possibly 3.
Yeah, the AFC South, 6-6 is good for first place, and 3 teams are tied for it right now. Yeesh.
I know, right?
Is that the worst? That on paper right now, that is the worst division in football, followed by the NFC South. But man, I want to talk about Kansas City. Kansas City is.
Oh, I so don't want to talk about Kansas City.
Kansas City is quietly 9-3, and their defense, I think, is getting no love, and that is what has been getting them their 9-3 record? Because their offense has been all banged up this year.
They're getting the love because they got so lucky. Stupid coach. Stupid.
I mean, but they've beaten Denver.
Post Manning.
Still, I mean, they're division rival.
Oh my God, Atlanta's head coach. What were you thinking?
He's thinking he's trying to win, and it's one of those calls.
That's the lead.
It's the cliche, man. It's one of those calls where if it goes through, if it works, you're a genius. If it's not, people are talking like you right now.
Well, if anybody didn't see it, it was a touchdown that gave Atlanta the lead. It was a 1-point lead. And instead of just kicking the extra point, he goes for a 2-point conversion. It's intercepted, ran back. It never happens, but it happened this game and gave Kansas City the lead again with 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes left. It was like 4.5 minutes left. And then they had to kick off to Kansas City. Stupid.
Hey, Chiefs beat the Raiders, too.
Yeah.
Just saying. Keep an eye on. You should be happy, Isn't that your home team, technically?
No, yes.
Local team?
Technically, it's my local team. But God, did they cost me a pick. Lucky, stupid, freaking, what the fuckins. That's the very definition of what the fuckins, right there.
You guys buying Miami? Or do you think they just had a really easy run and they ran into a decent defense? They got exposed? Because I think that's what happened. Is a real defense showed up and
Miami isn't even a has-been. Miami is a never was.
Yeah, I'm not buying them. Not buying them whatsoever.
How about which one are you buying? Which one are you not buying? Pittsburgh or Baltimore?
Pittsburgh. They have the talent. They know exactly how to win. Mike Tomlin finally listened to me. He got his shit together. He got that team going.
Mike Tomlin speed dial.
Yeah, thanks for listening, Coach Tomlin.
No, fuck that. We have FaceTime. There was no over the phone. FaceTime. I Snapchatted his ass. All kinds of what the fuckins.
And did he say, why is Shrek calling me and giving me advice on how to coach?
Well, somebody needed to. Damn.
I think Baltimore, man, their defense this year has been quietly one of the best.
You sleep on Baltimore at your own peril, especially that defense. I agree with you, Chris.
Yeah, just purely speaking as an owner from fantasy aspect, but everyone this year, they've been all on, everyone's always on New England's balls. Everyone was on Minnesota's balls for a minute. Seattle always in the conversation, but Baltimore this year, I think not getting the love they deserve in the defense department.
That's the coach.
Just going on points allowed, they're tied with the Patriots for the best in the AFC.
Yeah,
it's not bad company. Not bad company whatsoever.
I'm just saying, it's the coach. It's always been a great defense in Baltimore.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is it just because that's where the bar's always been in Baltimore? The bar's always been at great defense, so when you're just doing what you're supposed to be doing, nobody gives a shit?
Well, that's what we said about Jason Witten.
That is true.
So Baltimore's the Jason Witten of defenses?
When you don't make a ripple, there's nothing to talk about there. If the score was ran up on Baltimore every week, we'd be going, what the hell happened to that defense? Remember Ray Lewis? Remember Suggs? Remember where'd that defense go?
Remember Ray Lewis? I remember Ray Lewis.
Let's get back to the AFC South here. Who do you think's coming out of there? You have Houston, Indy, and Tennessee all tied for first at 6-6.
Indy comes out of there.
Really?
Yep.
I'm not even going to say it because whatever I say about Indy the opposite's going to happen. So
I say don't sleep on the Titans. If you've been paying attention to how Mariota and DeMarco Murray and Delaney Walker have been playing for the last month, don't count that team out.
No, they're out.
Mariota is clearly starting to become what he's expected. Just saying.
He's lost twice to the Colts, bro.
The Colts defense, okay, but the Colts defense is very suspect. I mean, compared to the Texans and the Titans.
He's beat them twice. Once at Tennessee and once in Indy.
What the fuck does that have to do with their defense? They don't play the Titans for 16 games. What I'm getting at is the Colts defense is suspect. Doesn't matter if the fucking Titans have beaten them twice. I'm saying they're
just like Houston's offense. Houston's offense also in that suspect category.
Yes, definitely.
Not buying them.
I mean, it's just really. As much as I shit on the NFC South, the AFC South is just a really bad division.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the definition of a 40-degree day, man.
Yeah, I know. You're 2-10 and you're in second place, technically. Come on, man.
I mean, if you want to go on momentum, obviously the Texans have fucking stunk it up for the last 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, so there are if you're a believer in momentum, they're definitely on the downside of the top of that hill. All right. I mean, well,
let's talk about another division.
My gut's telling me the Titans over those other two teams, though. That's just
even though they lost twice. Never mind. Go on.
Look at they got the best offense out of the three. I think that's what me and Rich are getting at.
Okay.
All right. Another division where you got a tie. The NFC South. Atlanta, Tampa Bay. Who's coming out of the NFC South, guys?
Oh my God.
Saints are going to go on a tear and come out.
Really?
No, I'm being a smart ass. It's the short bus division in the NFC. It just really is, man.
What happened to that high-powered Atlanta offense all of a sudden?
Stalled.
That and too, you need a defense. Matty Ryan can put up 4 touchdowns a game all he wants, but if the defense is letting 5 through a game, it's not going to work.
Go ahead.
All right, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered in a lot of these divisions. And next 2 weeks, I won't even go to the end of the season. Next 2 weeks is going to tell this tale. Our picks at the end of this show are going to be extremely difficult because of the games that are coming up. But the Buccaneers are on a 4-game win streak. They've beat people like your all-star Kansas City Chiefs that we talked about. I mean, how do you do that? I don't know. You want to call it luck? You want to call it a miracle? I don't know. Are they good? Yeah. Got the best kicker in the NCAA. But anyways, I don't know. Because I would have said the Falcons for like the last 3-4 weeks. But I'm with you, Chris. I don't know what happened. The defense fell apart. Matty Ice is like, but I could still throw. Okay, but it's not getting the job done. So what the fuck is right there?
Look, the Saints have to play the Buccaneers twice still. They should at least get one win out of that. They play the Cardinals in between those 2 Buccaneers games, and then they play the Falcons. So I don't know.
2-2 best case scenario?
I have very little faith in the Buccaneers. So my initial reaction is they're not going to win the division. That's my gut reaction to them. The Falcons, I don't know what the fuck's going on with the Falcons. I mean, Matty Ice, just Julio Jones looking like, the second coming of, 2007 Brady and Moss for, some games. And then other games, I'm like, this is boring. What the fuck? What's going on with this offense all of a sudden? I don't know, man. It's just a really bad division. I mean, I was joking when I said New Orleans could come out of nowhere.
But New Orleans could come out of nowhere.
Exactly. I mean, the only team that I think's out of it is the Panthers. I just don't. Whatever's.
Oh, they're done.
There is just. I don't know if it's Super Bowl hangover. I don't know if it's Cam Newton got too cocky, too big for his own britches. I don't know if it's something going on in the locker room, something between the coaches and the players.
A lot of it is injuries, big time injuries.
Well, there is that. I mean, but it's not coming together like it was supposed to for them. So I can comfortably write them off. I can't comfortably write off any of the other 3 teams in that division. I mean, if I'm just going on past performance, I think the Buccaneers are still a young team. They've got a lot to learn. Most teams have to learn how to lose. Most teams have to learn how to lose before they can learn to still win when they're winning. And on top of that, their home record and their road record is just flip-flopped from what common sense tells you. I mean, someone needs to tell them they're allowed to play good at home. I mean, they're 5-1 on the road or 2-4 at home. That's ridiculous. And then the Falcons could be an explosive offensive team 1 minute and a snooze fest the next. I don't know.
My gut says New Orleans wins this division. I don't know why. I just think I don't know. They just seem, even with their record, they seem more consistent to me than those other two teams.
I mean, but you got to remember now, okay, Atlanta plays the Rams, the 49ers, the Panthers, and the Saints to close out the season. So on paper, there's 3 wins for them right there.
Yeah.
They should win against the 49ers. They should win against the Panthers. And they probably should win against the Rams. So that means New Orleans would have to basically run the table.
Well, they got the Bucs twice, the Cardinals, and the Falcons.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's possible.
I'm not picking them to run the table, just so you guys know.
That last game of the season could come down to the division for those two teams.
That's why they schedule them that way.
Or, best case scenario for Rich, Tampa Bay just runs away with it, right?
And they make the playoffs, and they win their first playoff game since winning the Super Bowl.
There you go.
And then next thing you know, I hop in my time machine, I hit 88 miles per hour, and it's 2002 all over again.
Lions Bucks for the NFC Championship game, right?
Oh, Christ.
Absolutely.
I would really hate that, because if the Bucks lost, I'd never hear the end of it. And if the Bucks won, I would be hated, even though I'm not the type of guy to walk around and rub people's faces and shit when their team fucking loses. That's other people.
You'd be like, fuck you, Bucks fan! That's how people are around here.
Pretty much.
All right, so, yes, as I stated, no movement. Rich and I still tied for second or third, whatever the hell you want to say. We're at 564. Iceman staying up top, 634. Apparently you're good at picking these football games. Hey, but yeah, the point Rich made on the last show, we're all over 500. There's a lot of critics, a lot of guys that might watch on Sunday morning who have far worse percentages than any of us. So, we pat ourselves on the back.
And we don't get paid to fucking pick the games.
Yeah, it's for free.
I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. Call me farmers. What do you want from me?
Speaking of not getting paid, that's a free plug for a big insurance company from the Iceman. All right, so, division battle, Thursday night. Raiders heading into Arrowhead, facing the Chiefs.
Hey, let's keep the same pattern.
Yeah, God damn it.
Chris, Rich, me.
All right.
You guys talk. I'll tell them who wins.
All right. Raiders at the Chiefs. Chiefs are at home. I think the Raiders' weak spot is defense. I know they're 10-2, but just following them, I have a couple of other guys on my fantasy football team. A lot of Carr's wins, a lot of the Raiders' wins have had to be in the fourth quarter at the last minute. And I just like Kansas City. I think momentum's on their side. I think the Raiders are going to get surprised in this one. Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going with the Raiders. I think the win streak continues to 7.
Well, if the Raiders' defense is their weakness, which it isn't, the Chiefs' weakness is their luck, and it's about to run out. These games, like I said, very hard to pick, but especially down the stretch, they're going to get harder and harder. This one, though, I got to think that, Carr has enough in the tank for him. I don't know, Eric Berry on Kansas City is going to be on Amari Cooper, and I don't think he can keep up with them. They're going to have to scheme, and like I said, their luck's going to run out, and their schemes are going to break down. I got to go Raiders.
Raiders are 5-0 on the road. Speaking of luck running out, just saying. Law of averages might kick in.
Baby.
Law of averages might kick in on the Raiders. Just saying. All right, next up, the Bears at Ford Field to play the Detroit Lions.
Bring it!
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pencil in the Lions, but I'm going to put out a trap game warning for the Lions.
Oh, yes.
Just because I've grown up here. I've been watching the Lions since I was a kid. I'm putting the trap game warning on the Lions, but I'm picking the Lions.
Yeah, for all our talk and everything about who's going to win the NFC North.
It ain't going to be the Bears.
I won't go so far as to say I have faith in the Lions, but I am a believer that they can carry this and win the North. So, yeah, give me the Lions.
It has come For a long time, I've waited for this, and it is finally here. Bring that shit. You're right, Trap Team. We're setting bear traps all over Ford Field.
Oh, Jesus.
And we're going to sit on that toilet seat and have ourselves a really good Sunday with the fucking paper. Damn right, the Lions. Right. Show me, as Rich says. Show me. Show me that they can beat. And if they do, well, alrighty then. I don't think so.
All right, next up. Steelers heading to Buffalo to face the Bills. I want to sit here and try and stick up for the Bills, but I think Pittsburgh's rolling, and I think it's going to be ugly, and I'm picking the Steelers.
Same here. I think Pittsburgh got their groove back. I don't know if Sexy Rexy has any more fucking tricks up his sleeve, so give me the Steelers.
Oh, so tough. I mean, literally tough. But, I don't know. Steelers are tied with the Ravens. They got some things to do. And Mike Tomlin, like I said, has finally got the coaching in order and got them boys headed straight. Rex, not really. They're kind of iffy. They're going to be great or they're going to be terrible. There's no in between. There's no good game. I don't know. Steelers, they got to. Because if not, they fall behind the Ravens.
All right, next up, Broncos heading to Tennessee, face the Titans. Broncos, still with a respectable record, not what they were with the Sheriff. You know what? I'm thinking if the Titans win this game, it legitimizes them as a football team, at least this year. They started out in the shitter, and they slowly clawed their way to 6-6. Broncos, I mean, that defense, though. That defense is responsible for that 8-4 record. But Mariota's got multiple options. So, Simeon, not so much, so I'm taking the Titans.
You guys know me. I'm a big believer in defense, big fan of defense. So give me the Broncos.
I can't argue that. Marcus actually better have a hole to hide in. They can't even pull it out against the Colts. And the Colts is nowhere near Denver. I don't care about the record, just pure talent on the field on both sides of the ball. So, yeah, sorry, Marcus, have a seat. No run game if you have the running back.
You mean DeMarco? All right.
Huh?
Is it DeMarco?
Yeah, sit him.
You said Marcus.
Mariota.
Oh, Mariota. Oh, duh.
Calm down.
My bad. All right. It's early. Okay, Redskins at the Eagles. Man, this would have been a lot easier to pick a month ago. Now, not so sure. I like the offensive weapons better on Washington, so we'll go with the Redskins.
I'm just feeling the Eagles this week over the Redskins.
Just a feeling? Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, you're telling us who wins.
Yeah, it goes back to my
favorite. In Pennsylvania.
It's my favorite Green quote. They are who we thought they were. The Eagles, sorry, Carson Wentz has been exposed and he's weak. I don't care about your receiving core. I care less about your defense. Crowder, for whatever reason, has become a huge name in Washington. Kirk Cousins, I could kick you for losing that game. Anyways, I gotta go Redskins over the Eagles.
Won't get louder with Crowder, huh?
I'm just saying. Who was he? Nobody knows.
The guy who took Deshaun Jackson's job, I keep telling you. That's who he is. Next up, Cardinals at the Dolphins. Cardinals, another defense not getting no respect this year. Going with the Cardinals. Because just Miami showed when they run into a real defense, they're done. So I'm taking Arizona.
You basically took the words out of my mouth. I'm going with Cardinals as well.
Well, as Rich said pre-show, they got Larry Fitzgerald, hell of a receiver, entered a very elite squad of receiving yards without an elite quarterback. When the and that's just it. That's the question we asked last week. Where did they go? They have so much talent, and they're not winning. But they're back on pace. DJ's running, and the receivers are catching. So definitely Cardinals. I like that, Sue. You fucked up, right? You fucked up. You know that, right?
All right. Chargers heading to Carolina.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm picking the Chargers. Once again, same reason as kind of how I picked Washington over Philly. I'm liking the Chargers offense way better than Carolina's this year. So I'm going with the San Diegans.
I can guarantee you one thing. Right now.
What's that?
Cam's going to wear a tie this week. Having said that, give me the Chargers.
I'm only laughing because, no, Rich, he's not wearing a tie this week. We're playing at home, boss. You're only mandated to wear a tie on road games.
Oh, I thought it was when you had to show it when you were showing up for traveling, period.
No. If you're on the plane, you got to have a tie.
Gotcha. Okay.
So no tie, and I don't know. This is one of those games that's like, what the fuck it's.
He's going to split the difference. He's going to wear a bow tie.
There it is. He's done it before.
I know, right?
Screwy fucker. You know what? Plagued by injuries, crybabies, literally crying on the field because they took a hit. Hit the Chargers last week and they lost to the damn Bucs at home. What the fuck is Chargers? Go Chargers. Screw it.
All right, here. Well, here's a nice little Nerf toss for the next pick. Bengals at the Browns. Bengals.
Yeah, give me the Bengals.
Oh, come on, Cleveland.
Battle of Ohio.
Cleveland, this one's for you. Yeah, Bengals.
All right. Next up, battle for first place in the AFC shit South. The Texans at the Colts. Texans are 1-5 away. Colts are 3-3 at home. I got to default to I like Andrew Luck better than I like Brock Osweiler. I'll pick the Colts.
See, this one's kind of rough for me because I usually go with the better defense, but then the Texans have been in free fall for the last 3-4 weeks. So, and it's the Colts. So no matter what I pick, they're going to do the opposite.
So
give me the Texans.
Oh, okay. Colts.
That's some confidence in that pick.
Yeah, I know, right? That is confidence personified.
Well, I'm just looking, and as much as I was iffy about the Chargers and everything, Texans lost to the Chargers 2 weeks ago.
Isn't that how they cheer in the fans in the stands right now in Indianapolis too? Colts? They're not sure to get excited or not.
I don't know. He put up 41 points last week. Luck did his duty.
Yeah.
But he did play the Jets. Colts.
He said duty.
All
right. Vikings at the Jaguars.
Come on, Jags! Come on, baby!
All right. Vikings should win. I'm throwing out trap game alert here again. But we'll pick the Vikings.
Yeah, give me the Vikings. The purple rain. Purple rain.
Oh, I want to pick the Jaguars so damn bad. And they're at home. They have a shot. Oh, do me a favor. Beat them.
They're only in second place in their division.
With a 2-10 record.
Yeah.
And a 7-game losing streak.
All right. I'm going to pick the Vikings because I'm picking with my head, not my heart this time, because 49ers in Chicago, what the fuckins? Seriously? You can't beat a toilet bowl? You deserve to sit down, you hypocrite bastard. All right. Vikings, praying to God the Jaguars make me have a loss. But Vikings.
All right, next up. Jets heading to Levi Stadium.
Jets heading to home, man. Jesus, Jets.
Yeah, Jets at the 49ers. Moratorium 49ers.
That's not fair.
Oh, Christ. Give me the Jets.
What the fuck is that pick? Why?
Why? Because we're on a time. You talk enough to fucking fill up all the time. Go ahead. Make your pick. Verbose motherfucker. You got a hard out this week.
Jets. I gotta have the Jets. At least Fitzpatrick stays in the whole game.
The Jets, because somebody has to. That's their new slogan this year.
I picked the Jets because somebody has to be concise this week.
Next up, okay, here you go. Saints at the Bucks. Oh boy, I think we're gonna get Drew Brees is gonna be pissed. He was held, he had a little bit of history dubiously made on him last week. I'm picking the Saints in this one.
I will talk a little bit about this one. Bucks obviously have a better defense, but their home record is such shit. And the Saints just got embarrassed. Because I don't care who you are, unless you're a Lions fan, it's embarrassing to lose at home to the Lions like they did. Give me the Saints.
I won't talk much at all. I'm going to take the Bucks. I think the Saints have been exposed. Their offensive line ain't what it used to be. Their defense isn't almost non-existent. Bucks are creeping on the come up. I got to take Jameis. Go get him, famous.
Time will tell.
creeping on the come up.
I know, right?
What do you want from me? We're on time.
Yo, they shook, son.
Hey, man, this posse. Say something.
Our next, Seahawks heading into Lambeau, taking on the Pack. I told you I don't like a pissed off Aaron Rodgers. I said it in the group chat. I'll say it on the mic. They got this is their toughest team they are playing the next 4 weeks. Could argue it'd be the Lions, but we'll see when we get to week 17. Going with the Pack. They're at home. They're pissed. They're on a roll. Green Bay.
Give me the Seahawks.
Yep, on a roll. Stops at the Seahawks. Legion of Boom missing Earl Thomas. That's okay.
Nah. That's Tampa Bay. I mean, Tampa Bay was able to get one up on Seattle without Earl Thomas. And I think Green Bay is a way better team than Tampa Bay. But anyway, next up.
I think somebody ruffles the feathers. Green Bay implodes.
We will see. All right. Dirty Birds heading out west. See the Rams. I think you picked the Falcons in this one, right? I mean, this is another one where I'm thinking, trap game. But you're picking the Falcons. I am anyway.
Yeah, I'm going with Falcons as well.
Throughout the season, I'm going to yell, what the fuckins? This ain't one of those times. Definitely a Falcons game. If I'm wrong, I quit picking.
We have that on forever on the release into the internet. But, okay, Sunday night game. This is going to be a good one, guys. Cowboys heading to Jersey, taking on the Giants. It's going to be a good game, but I think the Cowboys are going to win.
Yeah, definitely. I think they extend that winning streak one more game.
Somebody might stop the Cowboys, but it damn sure ain't going to be Eli Manning. Not a good game. Not even close. Zeke's going to be like, feed me.
Eli Manning and Kristen Stewart could get in a competition of who can stare off into the distance the best.
Yeah, but I only want to fuck Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, I know, right?
I only wanted to fuck Eli Manning, so.
Okay, the Monday night game. Ooh. It's a little. This, it's a battle of the kickers before. This will be a battle of the kickers, son. And they got Justin Tucker on their side. The Ravens heading into Foxborough, play the Patriots. Man. I'm picking the Ravens. Pats are banged up, and Ravens showed. I mean, Cowboys still beat them, but as far as the best team in the league this year, offensively, I mean, the Ravens, they made them work for it. So I'm going to pick the Ravens. They got something to play for, too. Pats, you could argue they're probably on cruise control at this point. We're going to get into the playoffs. The Ravens are tied with Pittsburgh. Like, every game is a must-win right now for them. I think they might have a little bit more fire in their belly, too.
Well, I mean, anybody that pays attention knows Ravens are my AFC team, but it's the Pats. They're a machine, man. They are a fucking machine, and they've got the machinist coaching them. Just blank stares and deadpan answers, and just like a machine, emotionlessly run over you and destroy you and doesn't give a fuck one way or the other. So, give me the Pats.
You take his draft picks, you take his quarterback, you take his tight end, you take his entire defense. He still wins. Sorry, Baltimore. I know you got to get in there. It's not going to happen this week. They're going to show their strength without Gronk. That's all that is. Pats.
All right. Well, there it is. Time will tell this week. No, sorry.
It's a make or reek. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be coming out of the next 4 weeks here. These next 4 weeks, this is make or break. This is it. This is where you're going to prove you for real or prove you are fucking nothing. All right? And then with that being said, we'd like to thank everybody who listens, who downloads, who shares, who follows us on Twitter at Sporgy Podcast, on Instagram at Sporgy_podcast. Just thank you to everybody. The numbers get bigger every week. So it means people are listening. People are liking it. You can email the show, sporgy at ChristopherMedia.net. And that being said, guys, we'll catch you all next week. My co-hosts, you there? You gonna say goodbye? You guys disappear? Well, Earl and Rich say bye. So, yeah. Catch everybody next week. Peace out.
If you enjoy this show and want more people to know about it, head on over to iTunes, leave a comment, and rate it 5 stars. Make sure you like and share us on Facebook, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Just search for Christopher Media. Thank you in advance for supporting Christopher Media by clicking on the PayPal button and by clicking through to all the sponsors who support ChristopherMedia.net. Most importantly, we would like to take the time to extend an extra special thanks to you. Christopher Media could not exist without your support. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net, and thank you for listening. Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new. Our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth, and as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast, and check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.